two neighbors with shared roots, a common history,
Будущее нашей страны.
Связано начало новой.
Political situation in Ukraine.
the same language,
Это все напоминает 1941 год.
в том числе и граждан Российской Федерации.
even the same religion. These two neighbors often find themselves at odds with each other.
К демилитаризации и денацификации Украины.
They are learning how to fight now.
Welcome to today's episode. We will dive into a story that's shaking the world. The Russia-Ukraine war. What fuels this endless war? Is it about territory, survival, or sheer dominance? Let's uncover stories of resilience, broken lives, strategic moves, and global stakes. But here's the big question for today. Could this war spark a larger global conflict? In the early hours of 24th February 2022, the world woke up to shocking news. Russia had launched a special military operation in Ukraine. Soon, explosions rocked cities like Kyiv and Kharkiv. Social media was flooded with images of fireballs lighting up pre-dawn skies while sirens wailed as civilians rushed into bomb shelters. Among those affected were Alexei and Yuri, whose lives were cut short in the chaos of battle. Their loved ones, Anastasia, Anna, and Vadim, were left grappling with grief, love, and the harsh realities of war. Bound by sorrow and fueled by revenge, they navigated the horrors of occupation, tearful goodbyes, and relentless violence. As the war raged on, they were left questioning, after loss, what comes next in a war-torn world? The question is, how did it come to this? What drove these nations into chaos? Let's unravel the story. To understand this war, we need to look back. Ukraine has long been caught in a geopolitical tug-of-war between Europe and Russia. After the collapse of Soviet Union, Ukraine declared independence and leaned towards Western alliances like the EU and NATO. This move clashed with Russia's view of Ukraine as part of its cultural and historical sphere. The breaking point came with the 2014 Euromaidan protest. What began as peaceful demonstrations on 21st November 2013 erupted into a wave of civil unrest across Ukraine. The cause? President Viktor Yanukovych's decision to reject an association agreement with the European Union in favor of aligning with Russia and the Eurasian Economic Union. This decision led to the ousting of Ukraine's pro-Russian president. In response, Russia swiftly annexed Crimea and supported separatists in eastern Ukraine, sparking a low-intensity conflict in the Donbas, a large mining and industrial region in eastern Ukraine. By late 2021, Russia had amassed a significant military presence along Ukraine's borders, citing the expansion of the US-led NATO alliance as a growing threat. Despite diplomatic efforts, talks broke down, and on 24th February 2022, Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine. This marked the beginning of the largest military operation in Europe since World War II, setting the stage for a devastating and prolonged conflict. Beyond borders, the impact of the war has triggered a global crisis. Humanitarian crisis. As of November 2024, the United Nations reported a total of 28,711 civilian casualties since the onset of Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, including 10,058 deaths. The conflict has forced millions from their homes. Nearly 5 million people have sought refuge in neighboring countries, while over 7 million have been internally displaced within Ukraine. How many more lives must be lost before the world acts? Food security. Ukraine is called the breadbasket of Europe for a reason. Before the war, Russia and Ukraine supplied nearly 30% of global wheat exports. Disrupted supply chains sent food prices soaring, plunging vulnerable nations into food insecurity. What if the world's food supply collapses? Could famine become widespread? Energy dependency. Russia, a global energy giant, was a major supplier to Europe. The war and subsequent sanctions forced Europe to rethink its energy strategy, accelerating the shift towards renewables. This shift raises questions: who will gain from these changes and who will lose? Strategic location. Ukraine's location makes it vital, a trade hub, an energy pipeline corridor, making it a strategic asset for both the West and Russia. How will control over Ukraine's territory redefine global geopolitics? The war in Ukraine has unleashed a ripple effect, impacted not only Russia and Ukraine but also reshaped the global landscape in unexpected ways. In Ukraine, infrastructure destroyed, millions displaced, and cities like Mariupol reduced to rubble. Yet, Ukraine continues fighting to protect its sovereignty. A poignant story of resilience emerges from the heart of this destruction. 10-year-old Ilya from Mariupol endured unimaginable pain, losing his mother during shelling. Injured and forcibly taken to occupied territory, he faced amputation fears. Rescued by his grandmother, Ilya now finds hope despite his tragic journey. In Russia, sanctions have isolated its economy. A wave of brain drain and reduced foreign investment have pushed it closer to China and India. Could these sanctions backfire, making Russia more resilient? The effects of this war extend beyond the borders of these two nations. In Europe, energy shortages and refugee crises are reshaping European policies for developing nations. Rising food and fuel prices have strained their economies. India, for instance, balanced diplomacy while securing discounted energy deals. US and China. The war has deepened global divides, with the US rallying allies and China subtly backing Russia. This accelerates the shift towards a multipolar world order. As of early 2025, this war shows no sign of ending. Ukraine's counteroffensives have made progress, but Russia still holds significant territory. Peace talks? Nowhere in sight. Through the eyes of 𝐈𝐀𝐒, a Ukrainian soldier, describes relentless battles, limited supplies, mounting losses, and the constant threat of artillery and drones. His story highlights the personal toll of war, reluctant soldiers, and chaotic redeployments. Will this war end in peace or turn into a frozen conflict that defines the 21st century? From food insecurity to energy crisis, the Russia-Ukraine war affects us all. It's not just a distant conflict, but a global issue reshaping the world. Let's end with this question. What role should global powers play in resolving this crisis? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global issues.
For more informative content, like, share, and subscribe. And do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.